tags only work in pipelines as a positive condition, right? I can have a condition triggered based on not having a certain tag. Right. So when you have, when you have a condition here, let's take a look at it. There we go. So we have these tags on stage number 1 of the pipeline. One is for new clients, one is for returning clients. So they should only get this proposal or engagement letter only if they have a new client tag. Everybody else will not get anything, really. So that's what that means, right? Now notice that at the bottom I have that send email. This email doesn't have any condition, so this will go to anyone that sits on stage 1. So the actions here, the automations that are set, they don't have conditions.
Your mic is cutting out.
Connection issue here. Can you mute your mic for a second? Hopefully it doesn't cut me out. There we go. Again, so if you have a tag on an account, only they will receive this information. They won't receive this engagement letter. They will receive this one, right? So actions and automations that don't have tags go to everybody that sits on stage 1. It doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter what tags they have, they will receive that information or that action that is required. So the tags simply help isolate information and tailor information to certain groups, right? Notice that in these 2 stages, I don't have any conditions because this belongs to everybody. Doesn't matter if they're new or returning, they should be getting all of these. Unless I have an organizer that needs to be filled out by new clients and returning clients fill out a different one, then that's when you would add these conditions, right? Hopefully that clarifies some of that information. Somebody asked, locking a document to an invoice only works with TaxDome invoices. That is correct. So as you noticed before, right, everything is linked to the jobs that are active. And you want to make sure that it is created inside of TaxDome. The functionality and the programming is everything is set up inside of TaxDome. So unfortunately, you can't, lock an invoice from any outside source. Now, one of the last things I wanted to touch on, because last time somebody asked, if you want to integrate with QuickBooks, you can click on integrations and then click on QuickBooks, and you will pretty much just connect your account. It'll synchronize, the information. So the way the synchronization works is the following. When you sync with QuickBooks Online and you create an invoice in TaxDome, that invoice is going to automatically be generated in QuickBooks Online. So it's kind of this parallel of information. So it's just a one-way communication, by the way. TaxDome sends information to QuickBooks. QuickBooks does not send anything over to TaxDome. So it's just a one-way communication, but when you integrate, TaxDome identifies the account names, and then if it doesn't, it won't synchronize, but you can manually synchronize. Maybe you have Sam and George Jackson as an account name, but in QuickBooks you have Sam Jackson. So you can manually synchronize that. It's just about synchronizing your invoices. That's what it'll do. It'll do a registration. So TaxDome, you generate an invoice and it'll create that registered invoice in QuickBooks. So you keep that ledger aligned. Okay, really easy to do. Again, use the help center to get instructions on how the integration works, but it's really easy to do. It's not rocket science or anything like that.
2 quick things. Someone asked about filters for looking at billing. information, being able to filter by who owes the most, or all of that kind of information. If you go to billing, you're able to look at that information. You can order them by how much they owe, or by who is overdue, when payments were due, etc. So if you go into
Right.
the billing tab, you can actually look at that. And my difficult clients, my favorite clients, it is a tag you would create on your own, and then you don't have to have specific emails to go to them. Sometimes it's just tagging them so that you know who they are. When they come up, you can see that this is a difficult person. You might need to, hold their hand through the whole process. You may need to be a little stricter with them trying to get their information. So you don't have to use it. It's something that's helpful sometimes. You have that red flag client. You have that, pain in the rear client. However you want to describe them. It just helps you um, just know who they are at a quicker glance. If you bring on a new hire, they know who is, the more troublesome clients. So it just can be helpful, to have that information.
Yeah, I remember your client can't see any of this ever. Okay, the only thing they can see is their account name and maybe any statuses that you have generated. Like, on hold, you need to sign something, or, we're in progress, we're reviewing your stuff. That's the only thing they can see. And you have full control of that. You don't even have to have a client facing status, right? And notes that you add on here, also, they can't see. So don't worry. This is all internal to you.
Do you
All
mind
right.
showing that billing page really quick?
Yeah, this is the billing section on the left-hand side, and you can use a filter to filter out many, many things. And also you can use these here to rearrange the last payments, or when they were posted, or by alphabetical order, or by invoice number. And you can export this into an Excel sheet and do further manipulation of the data if you need even more information on that. All right, perfect. So I wish we could go on a little bit more on the Q&A, but unfortunately we have ran out of time, and that pretty much wraps up our session for today. So great work, everybody that has been asking us questions. Thank you so much, Katie, to bring in some of your expertise and suggestions, right, on some of the best practices and the details of, some of these features so that everybody could better understand. So we covered the essential building blocks for setting up your TaxDome account. You learned how to import clients, get familiar with key TaxDome terminology, and explore communication tools, and how to manipulate templates, organizers, engagement letters, how to manage documents. So we covered quite a bit of things. We also introduced the power of that workflow automation in the last two sessions. And this kind of gives you a glimpse of how you can save time and create consistent and scalable processes. So today really was about laying down the groundwork, right? You don't need to master everything right away, but we'll keep building on this, in our enhanced boot camps as well that we'll be having coming up. So there we'll cover, things a little bit more into depth. I am showing my screen right now with what we'll cover. So I can't wait for everybody to join then as well. And again, thank you so much for choosing TaxDome. If you haven't fully chose TaxDome, get on board with us. We're going to be able to, help you out and build out, pipelines that you need, or take some of the tutorials. Or TaxDome Academy is great. We'll have soon an upgraded academy with even more information coming up soon. So again, I'm just going to remind you there will be recordings. Materials will be available in the Academy as well in case you deleted your emails by accident. You know, there will be the handouts and everything compilated in there as well. So thank you so much for joining us. And again, we'll have a little feedback form or survey that you can fill out today. And that's pretty much, we can call it a successful boot camp, right, Katie?
Absolutely. We've loved having you join us this week, and I hope that we have helped you be able to learn more.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And everybody have a good rest of your day. Thank you.